Começando mais um De Frente com o Maldito na Horror Expo. E hoje teremos um ator americano que fez diversas aparições, como Fear of the Walking Dead e A Morte Te Dá Parabéns. Welcome, Rob Mello.
How did you create the babyface character?
No, I did not. Christopher Landon did. He's the director. And if you ever watch Little House on the Prairie, Michael Landon, that's his son. And they went through a few iterations of it, and Chris was wearing it around the production office, and he surprised his secretary, and she ran the hell out the building. So he's like, "Yep, that's the one."
But you played the villain in Happy Death Day?
Yes. Toombs, the serial killer.
Yeah, Toombs. How did you create the character?
Oh, yeah. Well,
how was your inspiration to develop your villain character?
The way I was trained is a lot of psychology involved, and so Carl Jung advocated for he put forth the idea of subpersonalities, and it's basically like a revolver, and the barrel is the operating subpersonality at the time, and it all depends on external input. So approaching him, it's just you really got to go through the script and pull it apart and look for key things. And fortunately, Chris was real loose. He let me do my thing. And for the audition, it was the hospital bed scene, and I was supposed to shoot the cop in front of her and then get her, and slam her up on the wall and talk that smack to her. And I was standing up, so I'm like trying to rack my brain. How the hell do I, how do I make like I'm in a bed? But so but I'm really fast, and I look really, really mean when I wanna. But yeah, I mean, I practiced so much because I realized how I looked when I started acting. And everybody always wants to be the good guy and this like that. I'm like, hell with that. I want to be the villain.
Oh yeah, the villains are always the best. Yeah.
Because there's a show on, I don't know if it's still on Netflix, Glow, is the gorgeous ladies of wrestling in the United States. And the end of season 1, like the director was like talking to one of the main girls, and she didn't want to be the heel. She didn't want to be the bad guy. He's like, look, you get all the cool lines and you wear all the cool costumes. I'm like, yeah, no shit, huh? Because I mean, all right, who's cooler, Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader?
Darth Vader for sure.
Darth Vader.
I leave it at that.
Yeah. We used to say that our heroes are different.
Yeah. Well, the bad guy, nobody's born bad, so it's more interesting to try and figure out within your own mind and your own experiences and all that, how from birth to here to page 1 of this man's life, what fucked him up that he wanted to go on an interstate killing spree and just kill everybody. Something really bad happened to him, so that affects people differently, and that's the fun shit for me. Before I get on set, that's the real work.
Rob,
you made
Rob,
you can
favorite,
go.
Yes, favorite villains of the time, your opinion.
Ooh, Kathy Bates in Misery.
Oh yeah, she's
hands
amazing.
Out, she made it so all right, at first, yes, of course, she's helpful, but then batshit crazy. But when they had that dinner that one time, you know, to finish, you know, as a celebration to finishing the new script, she just seemed so sweet, you know, and human, you know, and not, you know, the crazy bitch that she was. You know what I mean? And Kathy Bates is just a goddess anyway. But let's see, shit, her. I mean, in my mind, I don't think film could ever do real humans justice with the amount of just evil shit we can do to each other on the daily basis, and we do.
Yeah.
And it's just for me, it's Kathy Bates. It's a lot goes into a character, so it's not just cool lines like Otis Driftwood. You know, has cool fucking lines throughout all of Devil's Rejects. But you know, he's a great actor. I'm gonna be in a film with him later. But the character itself, you know, for me, Kathy Bates in Misery did it because she encompassed the entirety of, you know, the human spectrum, you know, the experience. And if you've seen Castle Rock on I think it's
amazing.
Oh my God. When they did Misery Returns, that girl, that woman did boom. High five, hands down, awesome.
That's true. You made a great role in 10 Seconds to Run.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you?
That was when I was first starting out. And really the only script they had, it was just they were trying to do a proof of concept for funding for a bigger project, and which was going to be 10 Seconds to Run, but they wanted to show what they could do. And their friend was in my acting class, and she knew actors, and so they were like, do you know anybody that could play this sort of guy? And she's like, I know just the fucking guy. So I get the script, and it's literally the only script that they had was the game itself. You know, you have 10 seconds to run. So all the rest of it was all improv. And so I just, I was, there was a lot of things wrong with the set, but they were learning as well. For instance, the girl, her name is Danielle. They didn't give her a bathrobe on set. It was real bare bones. And so this girl is running around in her underwear, just, you know, going to get a snack. And I'm like, guys, because I have daughters, and that's somebody's daughter. So you treat her with respect. Would you want your daughter running? No, of course not. So, and, but I mean, it just, I was learning, you know, how to find your light, for instance, where the camera is and how you're going to look in relation to it. And, you know, all that kind of stuff. But that character, that was the first one I actually did a lot of prep for. And it really hurt my soul. Because, I mean, I watched a lot of horrible shit in order to prepare myself. So he doesn't have very much compassion. He doesn't have very much humanity, empathy. So I was trying to pull that nugget out of me, you know, my own empathy and my own and all that. And so I mean, I'm watching torture videos, I'm watching beheadings, you know, all just horrible shit. And about an hour and a half into it, I hit pause and I talked to the wife. I'm like, babe, I this shit is really draining me, you know. And I could feel my shoulders lowering, you know, I'm getting lower and I'm just you know. And she's like, shut it the fuck off right now then. You know, don't let any work pull that piece of you out of you, because that's what makes you you. Like, that's why I fucking married you, man. You know, I got a hell of a wife, boy.
Oh man. It's not easy to play villains and not to be involved emotionally.
It is now because of my training. Like I said, subpersonalities, I'll give you a perfect example. There. It was John Lennon's birthday, and I was still in my acting class in Florida. And so the local rock station steady playing wall-to-wall John Lennon all day, all night. So I was in a good place, you know, and I'm real guru, you know. John Lennon does that to some folks, you know, and I'm real, and I'm driving to acting class, radio's cranked, you know, and I'm listening to Lennon, and some asshole came a little too close to the car. So in a split second, I went from guru to raving maniac, punching the shit out of my steering wheel, you know, yelling at him and all that. And he shot off because he's in a little sports car, and I was in this little shit box, and rage. And then there's nothing I can do about it. Crank John back up, boom, right back into guru. So those are that's an example of sub-personalities. You know what I mean? Like, you talk to your mom different than you talk to your buddy, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it's like, hey, asshole, what's up? And you'd never dream of saying that to mom, you know? So that's an example of sub-personalities. But it's a lot easier now because I've played a lot of them. And what I've noticed is the people on screen that are the worst are the best people on the planet. You know, and the guy and the people that play the nice guys, the good guys, are fucking assholes. You know,
that's true. That's true. We heard this a lot.
Danny Trejo, for instance, incredible dude. Incredible.
Danny's great, right? Yeah.
Oh man, funny as hell. He's aware. He's self-aware. You know, like I was on Badasses in the Bayou. It was my first major motion, you know, it was a motion picture.
Yeah.
You know, and oh my God, I was scared shitless, and I was a day player. I was there for one day, get in, shoot the stuff, get the hell out. Never been on a big set like this, and that's when I got hooked. And they were like, all right, you know, we're gonna take you to hair and makeup. You know, make sure your wardrobe's good to go, this, that, and the other thing. Because they all already got my measurements. They all know what I look like, all that stuff. So I did wardrobe, put it on, got over to hair and makeup. And who's there when you open the door? This guy you've seen in 10 million films, you know what I mean? He's Machete, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
So, and he's just sitting there. Hey man, where the fuck have you been? We've been waiting. I'm like, oh really? He's like, no, I'm just fucking with you. Come on in, man. You know? And I'm like, what the? I'm shooting this shit with Danny Trejo. But we did have there was a work stoppage. How much time do we have, by the way?
Now we have 40 minutes more.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Work ahead.
So we had a work stoppage because it was shot in Louisiana, Baton Rouge. And it was in the summertime, and around about 4 o'clock every day, it rains. And there was lightning, so you have to stop. And so I love watching lightning. So we're sitting out front of the bar that we were at, and he's like, so, you know, what's your deal, man? I was like, oh man, this is like my first flick. And he's like, that's fucking awesome, man. You know, he was real cool about it. He's like, so like, what's your career goal? I was like, honestly? He's like, yeah, don't fucking lie. Well, I want to replace you. And he was taking a break. He was like, fucking excuse me? And I was like, no. You are like the go-to bad guy in Hollywood. If they need a bad guy in a script, call Danny. He's like, okay. I was like, well, you're getting up there in age. Like, oh, I got you. I was like, yeah, no, dude, please. So he was cool about it. And I called my wife later. I was like, and I told her the story. I was like, and I fucking survived. You know?
Yeah. Well, Danny Trejo is a legend.
Oh, man. None better. And Danny Glover is cool as shit too, you know?
Yeah.
I've met very few jerks in the industry, if any. You know, I meet more assholes in church than on set. You know, which you would think would be opposite, because you know, this one is all about supposedly pretentiousness and pretending, and it's not. That's not what acting's about at all. It's about pulling a piece of your own experience out, plugging it into this script and this character, and adapting, you know, and what you know about life, you know. So I mean, really, the more well-read you are, the better actor you are, you know.
Yeah.
Which explains, a lot of things.
How did you came to the horror industry?
10 seconds to run. I did that, and after that, I started realizing the size of the horror community and how fucking rabid the fans are. You know, they're the most loyal. I always crack up because I went to a convention last year in Kansas City, and there was this little girl. And, you know, people walk by the table and, oh, man, I love that flick and this, that, and the other thing. But there was a little girl with her family, and she was dressed as a zombie. And she did the full Monty, you know, the like Frankenstein. But she did it slowly and walked the entire, never made eye contact with anyone, and just walked around. And I was just like, yes.
Yeah.
So fucking cool. They're the sweetest group of people. I mean, you want to, I'm working on a script right now, and we were bullshitting about kills, and, you know, we really want these kills to be unique and brutal and gruesome. But that's in a film. That's not life, you know? So they're quite the opposite, just like with villains. You know, a horror fan might love, like, for instance, Terrifier.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that one, that kill. Fucking awesome, brutal. But both David and Catherine are a pair of the sweetest damn people you could ever meet, you know? That whole crew was just ridiculous. Jenna was ridiculously talented, you know?
And they're making an amazing job.
Yep. So, I mean, 10 seconds really introduced it to me. And then, you know, in the social media, you know, they'd put the video out. And, you know, they tag me, and, you know, you get flooded with, and then you start just really talking to people. And then HTD came, and nobody really knew it was going to do what it did, but it fucking did, you know? So I'm rather happy about that. I mean,
Happy Death Day was a really good movement for your career, for sure. Definitely.
Well, it was an indie horror when we shot it. We didn't have any production houses behind it and anything like that. And Universal picked it up, and I'm reading the dailies, you know, Variety and Hollywood Reporter and all that. And I saw we got picked up by Universal. I'm like, yes, cool, you know?
Yeah.
But then they got picked up by Blumhouse, and I'm like, oh. And this is on the heels of Us and all the rest of, I mean, that whole probably 2-year span, Blumhouse really kicked the shit out of the industry. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my bad. Language. Is that okay?
No, don't worry.
A little far into it, but.
Don't worry.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I mean, HDD really, Happy Death Day really blew it up, you know? And I'm looking forward. I was begging my agent when they were casting The Stand TV show. I was begging my agent daily, get me in the fucking room. That's all I need. I wanted to play Randall Flagg, but Skarsgård got it. So can't really argue. You know, Skarsgård's good.
Oh, yeah.
Rob,
I'm happy for him, because, you know, I'm gonna get that role that really you know, it really showcases. I'm gonna get it, I know, but oh man, I really wanted that one. You know.
Rob, what are your advice to people that wants to start as an actor?
Learn. Get in a class, get a boatload of books, read, immerse yourself in it. So like if I don't know something, I shut my friggin' mouth and listen. And then, you know, I filter out people's bullshit, take the information, you know, and apply it. But I mean, think about it like this. There's a lot of people that go to like a weekend seminar on acting. And then, you know, all of a sudden they're an actor. No, bitch, you're not. It's a craft, and it takes time and education. So would you, for instance, would you let me, if I went to a brain surgery seminar over a weekend, would you let me open your skull?
No.
And work on your brain?
Only silent horror movie.
No, I'm talking real life.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. No, you wouldn't. So no, they're not going to trust you with a part and pay you $20,000 to play a part if they don't have the confidence that you can't execute it. They just won't. So you need to learn. In the age of social media, it's way easier, but immerse yourself in film. You know, learn about the history of film. Learn about this, you know, and then learn about your craft and practice it. Like acting for me is a 24/7 exercise because it's all it is a state of being. Like this morning, you got up and ate breakfast, right? You didn't wake up and say, I think I'll eat breakfast and make coffee.
Yeah.
And no, you got up, half asleep, probably hungover, slept your ass to the coffee maker, make your coffee. Fuck. You know, it's simply a state of being. It's not, you know, separate from the human experience. And you need to. A lot of universities have film departments, so a lot of them, in the States, anyways, they have separate, you know, pages on the university website where you can sign up for casting calls, you know, stuff like that. And just because, sorry,
for auditions,
yeah, and just because, like, I'm 45, I have an age range like this, right? And just because, you know, this character that you're seeing, you know, they'll list it as like Joe, and he's 55, and you know, or even if it's a female, it doesn't really matter. That's what they think. But if they see your performance and it fits to what they want, what they see, you'll get it. It doesn't matter if it's male, female, black, white, whatever you are. It's the genuineness of your performance and the believability. So if the world believes you're this mean, nasty motherfucker, you are.
Yeah. Amazing, Rob. And also, you are a Marine, right?
Sorry?
You are a Marine.
Boom, baby.
Wow.
As a Marine in the Army National Guard.
Yeah. How the training inside the Marine helps you in your acting world, talking about discipline?
Yeah, well, mental toughness, because you're going to hear no a hell of a lot more than you're going to hear yes. So there's a certain stupid obstinance. You know, you just continually bash your head against this wall, knowing someday that wall's coming down.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, everybody's looking at you. Why are you bashing your head on the wall, dude? You know. But I mean, weapons training, hand-to-hand combat, all that kind of stuff kicking the door in Happy Death Day.
Mm-hmm.
Funny one, the bell tower, when I chased her up the bell tower, that shot was in an old hospital. So, I mean, these are industrial doors, double doors. And the deal, my internet connection is unstable. But the deal was, it was real chains on the door. And I was supposed to give it, 2 or 3 good kicks. We were going to cut. And then, they'll put breakaway chains on. And then I boot it and run past the camera. So everything is on the other side of these doors. All the cameras, Jess, the director, everybody, everything is on the other side of the cameras. I'm on the door. I'm on this side. And he's like, dude, I want you to lay into that fucking door. I mean, really give it hell. I'm like, I'm a Marine, right? And he's like, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I really want you. Oh, I'm like, I don't think you understand. Okay. So I give it 1 boot. And on the second boot, the door frame, everything went flying. And missed Jessica's head by inches. Missed $250,000 cameras by inches. Missed everybody. And I'm on this side of it, and I'm fucking mortified because I'm like, and then everybody was okay. Everything was okay. And I was like,
Yeah.
I really didn't want to be responsible for that. But I was doing what I was, he told me to do. But you can't really, how the hell are you going to predict that this skinny dude can boot these industrial hospital double doors off, not just off the hinges, but off the fucking wall?
Wow.
Well, I did. And that kind of put production back a little bit because, then props had to reattach the doors. And yeah, that was fun. But what was even more fun, what was more fun was chasing her down that long ass hallway. Now, I ran the 100-meter in 10.6. I'm fast. So they were like, dude, I want you to run like hell. They had the camera guy in a office chair. And they had a guy pulling him, and then they had the other guy behind him, keeping an eye out where everything was, blah, blah, blah. I had to do that sprint about a dozen times because I was too quick. I ran too fast for him. He's like, all right, man, just slow it down a hair. I was like, I told you, man.
Yeah.
Told you.
Don't play that hard, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was that shoot was a lot of fun. But the best group and just set experience I had was rather recent. I was on the Embalmers. Ooh, I gotta fly. Oh, I'm gonna get him. It's an indie horror film, and it's shot in Indiana. And I had a hand in helping write a couple of my own scenes, which was it was beautiful. It was primo. Can I talk about the Embalmers? All right, we got free reign to talk about it.
All right, that's good.
The script was really bare bones, and the characters weren't exactly, backstories and all that fleshed out. And Rebecca, the director, was like, hey, do you want to? I told her I can write, and sent her a couple things I'd written. She's like, oh, nice. I really like that one. Blah blah blah. Would you mind writing a scene, or would you be willing to? I'm like, fuck yeah. She's like, all right, well, whatever you come up with, we'll see. So I get to thinking, because I'm Aquarius and I've got to be as original as I can. So I got to thinking about horror, and I'm like, all right, I've seen Amazonian cannibals eat people. I've seen, you know, demons possess people. I've seen this. The one thing I've never seen is necrophilia.
Oh yeah.
So I wrote out this date scene. My character and is a sibling of 3. I have 2 sisters, and we're embalmers, where we run a funeral home. And I have a unique. We're also immortal, so I have the ability to look inside somebody's mind, whether they're dead or alive, and see the entirety of their life, everything they've ever done, good, bad, and ugly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's very socially awkward. He's way more comfortable around the dead than he is the living, because he was buried alive in the 1800s. So I was like, okay. I just want to show how fucked up this guy really is. So I wrote a date night scene where it's the same scene, but it's shot and the girl is alive, and the exact same thing, and the girl is dead. And they can cut, you know, they can intercut. And, you know, I when I write like that, when I got it, I just write. I don't read, or I just blow it out. And I read it, and I'm like, wow, that's fucking good. I give it to the wife, because she always reads everything. She's like, babe, that's the best fucking thing you've ever written. Nice. So I sent it over, and she, the way she interpreted it, the way she read it, totally different than the way I'd intended it. And that's the way it worked out, is the way she saw it. That it was romantic. It was sweet. So it changed from, you know, a really sick, fucked up shit to, aw, he really is a sweet dude, you know? And I was like, wow, I never even thought of that. But that's the beauty of creative collaboration, you know? And it kind of blew my mind. That's the date.
So cute.
And it kind of blew my mind, because it's not just the way you write things. It's you have a certain intent when you create, but how it's received and how it's perceived by everybody else could be totally different. And you have to be okay with that as a creator. As long as you get it the fuck out of your head so that other people can see it, cool. You know, but that set, there was such great energy, cooperation, love. It doesn't hurt that, you know, everybody had been quarantined for a half a year and couldn't see anybody, couldn't go do the things we love to do that really fulfill us. This really, you know, hanging out with people and having a fire outside and drinking beer and laughing and telling stories and jokes. It was just great, you know. And we had a bit of a horror legend on set, Ellie Nudi, and then there was me, and like pretty much everybody else they'd been in a bunch of stuff, just not something, you know, this long, this big, this, you know, possibilities, you know, because my opinion, the energy that you'll perceive as an audience, it really, how we were, it will really come through for you to see. And just a lot of things happened personally. I had a friend, she's dying of cancer, and she had put up on social media, I wake up really early and nobody else is up and the sun's still down, and I go make my coffee, get my cigarettes, get my phone, you know, start flipping through. And she had put up that, you know, if somebody wants to see her before the end, you might want to do it now. And that that really fucked me up. So a few of the scenes we have, what we can do, the three siblings from the Embalmers, is I can see what they've done, so then they can be judged and they can be entombed. Their soul can be entombed in the body until there's nothing left of the body. So until the last atom splits, your soul is still there. And that's pretty fucked up and bad. So there was a scene I had to do, and it was in French. And I was thinking about my friend, and I had FaceTimed her, like I video called her. Mm-hmm. And this time last year is when I met her, and she is the most beautiful, sweet, just an awesome person. And in a year, she went boom. And she's dying, and that really fucked me up. But the way I was taught was you use the great things in your life and the tragedies, and you use it for your work. So I did. And the scene I had was in French, and I was entombing. I don't do the entombing, but this bitch had pissed me off. So I was doing the entombing, and it was in French. And I don't speak French. And it really, I used, I saw her as I was saying my lines, I saw her, and it broke, and you can see it. And it's a really good scene. I'm really happy with it. And it really made a lot of the, it trips people out seeing grown men cry, Yeah. So it went really well. We had a rookie director, and she slaughtered it, knew exactly the shots she wanted well ahead of time. Her and the DP were really in sync. Like, everybody was really in sync, and it just worked really well, I forget the question.
Don't worry. The movie is already finished?
It's being edited right now.
Wow.
Like literally
right this second.
over there.
Yeah, really? Wow.
Yeah, hang on. Let me see if I can.
Wait,
Yep.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea. Lots of new faces, everybody really hit, and it just goes to show you don't need, of course it helps if you have a large budget to do how you see it, but it's not that necessary. You can get done what you want to get done. But I mean, that kind of speaks to, crowdfunding and indie horror, and you want to see good content. You don't want to see the same bullshit over and over and over again. Well, then your friend that's making that little shitty indie horror film that you think, yeah, give them $5 and you'll be surprised what they can do. Very.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure it's the same in Brazil. So.
Yeah. The situation here is really complicated with the coronavirus.
Yeah, I can imagine. Because I live in New Orleans, and we have Mardi Gras, you have Carnival.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I've got a couple of Brazilian friends, and they're female, which, oh my God, I've never met an ugly Brazilian woman. I don't know how you guys do it, but I'd imagine it's just like the way it was for me in New Orleans. I moved there because of, the music, the food, the energy.
The music in New Orleans is amazing.
Right. And, there's art everywhere, and just the people are cool, it's a beautiful place. But once this coronavirus hit, everything shut down. So I'd go downtown. Before, you could take 2 steps and hear completely different music, take 2 more steps, hear completely different music, just a waft of food, and you know, and then you walk downtown during it, and it hurt my heart because there was no music playing, and there was nobody cooking, and there was nobody around. I'm like, Jesus, I don't want to be here anymore. I left. I got the hell out and went home, and it really broke my heart. But I guess I ain't going out. But shit's starting to open up, and there's just a lot of stupid people, and we don't know enough about it to be able to, you know, with confidence anyway, go here and do this or do that. You know, I'd rather not, because my wife is she's susceptible. You know, she has high blood pressure and all that, and if she caught it,
all right,
no good. And she's my filter, so like if she goes, I don't have a filter anymore. It's not good. She turns down a lot of shit in my head, and if that's not there anymore, not good. You know what I mean? Might just be on True Hollywood Stories, you know.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year.
Definitely, but I hope everybody down there is being safe. And I mean, I kind of keep up with politics. I'm not getting political, but you guys are having a rough patch too. But
man, it's not easy. It's not easy.
Right. You just gotta have faith in each other, you know, and the goodness in each other's hearts. You know what I mean? We'll carry through.
Yeah.
We're strong. But let's talk about horror. Fuck that shit.
The horror in real life is not good.
Yeah, that's why we like to keep it on the screen.
Yeah.
You know?
I want to know, Rob, your 10 favorite horror movies.
10?
10.
Wow. Fuck. Happy Death Day. Happy Death Day to you. Happy Death Day 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Other than mine.
Yeah, of course.
Let's see. Misery. Yeah, let me get closer. Misery. Devil's Rejects.
That's great.
Exorcist.
Yeah.
Exorcist is the #1 of all times for me.
Yeah.
For me too.
The bitch going down the stairs. Oh my God, that fucking, I think that creeped the world out.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It changes the industry of horror movies.
Oh man. Like my parents went to go see it, and they told me about, you know, people running out and, you know, throwing up in the aisles and shit. And I'm just like, oh. But all right, what number on 5? Okay. Let's see. Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah. Hopkins is a genius.
Yeah.
Say again? Hopkins?
Yeah.
Did you see that video where he's listening to like metal and shit? It's like a TikTok.
Yeah.
Like,
I love it. Yeah.
He's the coolest.
He's listening to Cannibal Corpse. Yeah.
Awesome. Haven't met him. I hope to. I hope to work with him actually. Fuck, but just to meet him would be cool. I'd be happy with that. Let's see. I don't like. I like psychological horror. I'm not really a fan of grindhouse kind of stuff. You know, I understand it. You know, it just doesn't do anything for me. So Insidious, I'd say. Oh shit! What was it? It was actually a Hopkins flick. He was a priest, and he was exorcising. Shit! Damn it! I just like the experiences. I don't take mental notes of who's directing and who's, you know.
Yeah, don't worry.
You got any clue? Remember that one?
Okay, that one I don't know, but I think you rather liked the movie that we watched yesterday.
Which one?
Midsummer.
Midsummer. Yes.
Midsummer was wow.
Yeah. It's mind blowing. Yeah.
That should count for 2 because fucking wow. That one tripped me out. Not you know, it is what it is, and you know, I appreciate different cultures, and a lot of people in America will look at other cultures and look down on them because it's different, you know, not realizing we have more prisoners than fucking every other country. You know, hypocrisy or you know, whatever it is. But I really loved, you know, the shots were beautiful, the acting was on point. That one dude I really want him to die, you know. That's a great job acting, you know. And that director, he's got some shit coming, you know. He's really, really good. Let's see. Horror for me. What?
I can't say what movie you were talking about.
Oh. No, the right, I think it is. Yeah, The Right. That was that Hopkins flick. What am I on? 7?
Yeah.
The Stand, the series, not the TV series, but the whole, you know, Deborah Logan was good. I wouldn't really rank 10, but
You mentioned
Salem's Lot. That Nosferatu, I saw that when I was a kid with my brothers, and I'm the baby of the family. And so we were watching it, and we're in the basement, which had windows that were kind of ground level. And all the lights were off, and whenever that Nosferatu woke up, you know, my dad was scratching on the windowsills with his nails. And then he'd go to a new window and scratch over there. And he did this for about a half hour, when we're all like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? And we're kids, and we're not supposed to be saying that. So finally, once he heard us, he kicked the door and, you little bastards. Got it from you, Dad. You know, you're scaring the shit out of us. What do you expect? Children of the Corn was cool because of Malachi. That kid was creepy as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't really into Chucky or any, you know, things like that. Pit and the Pendulum. It's the pendulum, you know, and the inevitability. You know, I really like. I'm really starting to appreciate cheesy horror and kills. So like we're working on a script now, and each kill I want to be entirely unique. You've never seen it before.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that requires creativity, which luckily we have. Got a whole closet of that shit right there. And so yeah, it's really helped inform me, you know, on okay, so I watched this film. This section of people love this film. This section of people, it's all right, it's cool. Excuse me. This section really hates it. Okay, why? So then you get to watch it, and you know, it's really been informative, and I'm happy as a clam about it because it helps me in any performance. Because it's like I said, acting's 24/7. If you're not watching people, reading, watching a film, or you know, educating yourself, and you know, otherwise, the fuck are you doing? You know, so it's really been fun. Fuck, am I on 9 or 10 or 12? I mean, I appreciate the whole, you know, classics. You know, Halloween, Friday the 13th. You know, Freddy. I appreciate Freddy Krueger. I mean, that was iconic when I was a kid. You know, I watched it. Yeah, it scared the shit out of me.
England made an amazing job.
Right. But the thing I like is going to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and
Mhm.
even as a grown ass man who's a Marine, you know, I still kind of run real quick and jump on the bed. 'Cause something might grab my foot.
Mhm.
It's that little twinge of back of that brain fear that I'm trying to figure out and how to put it on screen for you.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I think it's like Stephen King said, the most terrifying thing is, you know, getting up in the morning, you put your feet on the floor, and something grabs your ankle. Fuck, it's so simple.
And it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's work. It's, you know, you have to put the work in, as with anything. But it was really it's really that simple when you get out of your own head. You know what I mean? And stop getting in your own way and just do what the fuck you want to do. You know?
Mhm.
No, that's not coffee.
All right, Rob. I
Mhm.
want to say thank you for your time and thank you for being present with us in
Thank you
this
for having
special
me.
interview. It was really a
Yeah.
pleasure to meet you.
We'll do it again. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And I love your
Thank you.
mask, man. That's
No,
definitely
thank you,
some creepy
Rob.
shit.
Yes. I am big fan.
I appreciate you. Well, you got one back. Touche.
Thank you very much, Rob.
Absolutely. Have a good night, brother.
We hope to see your new movie soon.
Yeah.
It should be out next year. Video on demand, things like that. And I'll let you know.
All right, Rob. Thank
We
you.
do have actually, you can pre-order it. The Indiegogo is still active because it was popular enough it got on, you know, the main page or I don't know how it works, but it's still active. You can pre-order the Embalmers.
Send me
online.
the link so I can put
Sure.
in our YouTube channel within this interview.
That
Yeah.
would be great. That would be
Yeah, of
perfect.
course.
Absolutely. All right. Thank
All
you,
right,
my friend.
Thank you.
Have a good one, my
It's
friend.
been a pleasure. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Good night, buddy.